Hello, and thank you for joining me on this beautiful spring day. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping. The season of rebirth at its strongest here in Minnesota. Even though I've given up Vita, other people are still going strong, and that leads them to reach pretty deeply for ideas in some instances. This has led to the resurrection of Nerimon's 2012 YouTube survey. I got tagged by two people actually, Steve Vader and Bottle o' Sand. So that's what we're gonna do today. Even though I prefer to be called Katie, my first name is actually Catherine. Here's kind of a weird story about when I was first named. Both my parents wanted to name me Catherine, but they disagreed on how to spell it and why they were naming me Catherine. My dad wanted to name me after my great aunt, and he wanted to spell my name with a K. And my mom wanted to spell my name with a C because she thought it looked more elegant, and she wanted to name me after Catherine the Great of Russia. Thankfully, my dad won out, and I am named after a great aunt instead of a Tsar of Russia. I'm not even Russian. Next, I have two middle names. The first is Fatia. More backstory on the origins of Katie. I was actually born in Turkey. My dad was an Air Force doctor, and my family was stationed overseas at the time I was born. Both of my parents worked, so my brother and I had kind of a nanny, I guess, who took care of us, and Fatia comes from the name of her daughter. So that's actually kind of cool. My other middle name is Dobbs. That was my mother's maiden name. And then my last name, Brady, which I get from my father. So Catherine Fatia Dobbs Brady, thankfully shortened to Katie Brady. Yes, it rhymes. My YouTube name, Corncwanky, comes from back when I was in high school. One summer I left for a week to go to music camp, and while I was gone, my friends, for some reason, decided to spam my Facebook page by typing my name over and over and over and over. As they kept typing it, they kept distorting my name, and eventually one of them typed Corncwanky, and it just stuck for some reason. So when I was coming up with a channel name, it hadn't been taken, and it's pretty memorable. It's kind of silly, so I just decided to go with it. My favorite teacher was probably Senora Callis, my high school Spanish teacher. She made learning a language really fun. She was just a very cool person overall. She was also the costume maker for our school's drama club, so sometimes she would be sewing or ironing things while teaching Spanish. It was just a really fun class. In college, my favorite professor has probably been Dr. Philippon. He was my sustainability professor last semester. He just knew so much about the history of environmentalism, and he was always really open and enthusiastic about sharing ideas. I learned a lot just taking the one course from him, and I really want to take another course. Hopefully next year I can. I haven't tried anything really out there. I've had haggis quite a bit. I guess that's kind of weird. I've helped make haggis. That's definitely the weirdest food I've ever helped make. It's just like grinding up animal parts and then putting them in a sheep's stomach and cooking it. It's weird. I've been going to different kinds of concerts longer than I can remember. My first concert was probably an orchestra concert somewhere. Does that count? My first concert that I went to on my own, and like kind of my first big kid concert, there was a free concert with Owl City and Family Force 5 freshman year of college. That was the first concert I went to that felt like a rock concert, or just like a concert that you would normally think of. My favorite place in the world is probably the Black Hills in South Dakota. The weather there in the summer usually doesn't get that hot, and it's hardly ever humid because of the elevation. Growing up, I spent a lot of time in the summer there, and I really like it. It's a very nostalgic place for me. I kind of like doing cheesy touristy things, and it has plenty of those, but it also has lots of really wonderful hiking trails and scenic naturey things, which I also love. I'm taking Phantasmoplastic, Alitat, and as always, my friend Anna, who really wants to upload a YouTube video but has yet to do so. Thank you for watching me answer Nerimon's 2012 YouTube survey in 2013. Hopefully I'll see you all back here next time. Goodbye. Hello, and thank you for joining me on this beautiful spring day. The birds are shining. Fuck. This has I speak well. I don't make gestures.